I've like come to accept. Basically, he's making new rules, and I really like to see that in a player. I like to see someone's personality flow into the games, and every single time I cast his games, he does something different and unique. He's not like Tails, because he doesn't play a style that's designed to trick and then kill your opponent. He plays a style that's just designed to basically, like I said, avoid the rules that everyone has come to accept. Like, Symbol doesn't scout the island base, that costs him. But like you said, with the Phoenixes out, how does he punish for that even if he did see it?
It's beautiful because it allows him to do a 3-base timing attack that's very powerful. But the thing is, the timing attack, there's no time to prepare because it just appears. Of course, if that Nexus gets scouted, Symbol figures it out, but it didn't, and that's the point. Not a strat you can use every game, but definitely a really cool one to pull out once.
Well, let's see if Symbol can tie it up here on his map pick, Overgrowth, GSL Code A.
In the bottom left, getting completely caught off guard by a completely new and awesome strategy, he is
Symbol.
Cannot be happy about that last game. To the top right, in the blue,
Billowy.
Team MVP. Watch this actually behind him. Oh no, his actually doesn't billow. The thing behind Symbol is billowing.
Well, it's because he's already cool as a cucumber after that build, man. He doesn't need the AC on. That was like just so neat. That was so neat. Like, it's funny too because like all we did was talk about Billowy that entire game. Like, Symbol just kind of played normal. There was nothing to talk about, but with Billowy, it was everything. But Symbol is an amazing Zerg, and you can like see right now the way he's drone scouting every game. I love it. I love Zergs at drone scout, macro Zergs at drone scout.
You don't think he's going to hatch block here?
I mean, he could. We did see this before.
Yesterday in the first game to maybe do that, but no, doesn't seem.
Well, it seemed like he wanted to actually block hatch with the second hatch, but against a gateway opening, I would definitely not do something like this.
It's not really going to be.
It's much better against a forge opener or a nothing opener.
Just going to hang out here on the main. It is a 1 gas expand, it looks like.
Yeah, it's funny because 1 gas gateway expands are actually coming back a little bit, which, you know, is kind of funny because this was the way people were gateway expanding when it came back again.
Yeah.
But then it went into 2 gas all the time. You know, Starport became, or Stargate rather, became very popular. +2 blink attacks became very popular. But this is coming back a little bit. We see it occasionally right now.
I feel like after scouting the gas here, Symbol feels pretty comfortable to take a double hatch before pool.
Yeah. I mean, that is the counter to gateway expand, you know, is double hatch before pool. So much so that when gateway expands really started up last year, again, like really heavily, much and thanks to Nanoa's innovation, we saw players, you know, like Hyun and Jade on these foreign events consistently going double hatch first, against which, you know, you have to sometimes mix in a crazy cheese, and I'm sure you all remember that if you watched a lot of StarCraft last year.
There was a lot of shifting last year.
Yeah, but you see, I mean, this is something that's kind of become the standard. If you do drone scout, or if you do know you're playing against someone that only goes gate expand, you should go double hatch before pool because they really can't punish it.
Well, he's just continuing to scout with his drone, doing a good job of it.
Yeah, the drone's been pretty wildly successful.
Yeah. Zealot even doesn't kill it there. And still on 1 gas right now, with only 2 probes mining it, I believe. Or actually, no, it looks like he's put the 3rd in now. He gets a lot of extra minerals, allows him to wall off pretty tight up here early on. And there's actually chrono boosting warp gate research, so it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a gateway attack here. At least I would assume so, considering. And there's the pylon. So only 3 gates. He's not going to add a 4th. It looks like it's just going to be 3.
It's quite interesting. Let's see how this works out for him.
It's a little bit less of a commitment.
Yeah, it certainly is. But you know what? One thing we can say is because this was a 1 gas expand, and he stayed in 1 gas and he chrono boosted that warp gate, it is very quick. The problem is that an Overlord saw it. So like, if you see chrono boost being put into the Cybernetics core, you basically know what's going on, and he's making a lot of queens. Doesn't have that many queens yet, but with 3 queens and 2 more about to pop, Where are they, though? Like, is there one in the main right now?
Yeah.
Because that could be a problem.
It looks like she's like skirting her way over now. It'll take a little bit of time. 14 Lings on the way. The thing is, this is just going to force Lings instead of drones, and then if he just walks away and keeps his Zealots alive, or even just doesn't overextend with them.
Yeah, yeah. Like, if he just keeps making Zealots and walking in just like this, and then walking back and warping in more Zealots, thing is, if he's still building his probe count as we see he is, he can just take 3 gases during this, and like he's forced a lot of links, right?
Yeah. Time Warp here is pretty good. Needs to save that Mothership core, and so far he does. Oh, well, Boot turns around the last second. That was a mistake.
Yeah, that definitely was a mistake. Maybe a Hawk King error where he re-attacked with the Zealots that were grouped with it or something.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it was. Well, good micro here. He wants to try to edge his way off the creep. The Queens are doing too much damage. I don't know if he would actually want to commit to fighting those.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if he ran, he was still going to lose his Zealot, so maybe he thought he could pick off a Queen here, but Symbol really on top of things. Still, he's got a decent amount of Zealots. If he hadn't lost the Mothership core, I would say that was completely successful, but
I think it was still okay. Because,
it's
I mean,
okay, I would say.
He's ahead in probes now. Symbol did just re-drone, so he's not as ahead as he was a few seconds ago, but still, 40 to 37. That's not a bad place to Protoss, who's adding 3 assimilators now, and
yeah, it's okay. And don't forget, even though he was only mining off 1 gas during that, you know, obviously he wasn't spending the gas on anything, so he was able to grab a robotics and remake his Mothership core. Imagine if he hadn't lost that Mothership core, you could get an extra sentry. Things would look a little bit better than they do now, but not too bad. What's interesting is, what does he want to go into from here? Yeah,
I wonder if he's just going to follow this up with a timing attack, because he's disrupted Symbol's, you know, his way he wants to play his build. Like, he's made him get drones at a funny timing. I think he might just try to... I don't know. Nobody likes playing PvZ on this map. Only Zergs are picking this map against Protoss.
Yeah.
I feel like Billowy, after disrupting this and forcing so many Lings, might just do like I thought he might do a timing with +1 Immortals, but it looks like he's just going to take a 3rd base instead.
Yeah, I think he has to take a 3rd base. I don't think he did the type of damage you need to do to be like, hey, I can follow up with like a weird timed Immortal all-in. Yeah, I would say for sure he did do that type of damage, so... I mean, take your 3rd base. He has plenty of Zealots to, you know, tank, maybe deal some extra damage. He's got to make a bunch of sentries, obviously. Making some Immortals for now. Take him a little bit to catch up on gas where he should be. Yeah, just seems kind of normal, not doing anything too wild here.
Yeah.
Whereas the same can definitely be said for Symbol. Just getting his Roach speed, getting that +1 attack. He is getting a macro hatch as well as the gold, so that's kind of cool. He's definitely going to be able to start producing a lot of units quite soon.
He's getting Zergling speed too, and this is warranted, I would say, because he's going to have that macro hatch, and also he's going to have the 32 Lings that he already built to roam the map and harass. Taking a 4th base for Billowy at the gold might be difficult with all these units on the map, but I mean that's a ways away from now.
Yeah.
I think he might end up taking the 4th base to the top left and taking the gold base later. It just depends on how he wants to play this one out. He's still continuing to add a lot of Immortals.
Yeah, and you know what? I kind of like this. You know, I don't normally look at Symbol and think, oh, this is a Mutalist guy through and through, you know? Definitely always going to commit to a rather sizable amount of Roaches. It's always kind of been his MO, so... to make a few extra Immortals and just kind of stay on a land army here, he's getting Blink, he's getting into his upgrades, adding more gateways and whatnot. He's going to have like kind of a ground pounder army. And sometimes, you know, if you make enough Immortals and sentries and whatnot, you can just move out with a 3-base attack against a ground-based army.
Yeah, it's
just like layer tech, you know?
Right, because you have the composition advantage. And sentries make it so that the ground army counter to Immortals, which are Zerglings, can just not fire or not do their damage, and the Immortals get their damage in from the back. Her movement here.
Don't forget, he has a lot of Zealots left over from the initial attack as well, so like that's going to buffer him against some Zerglings. And
you think he might just move out here on 3 base with +2 and Blink?
Yeah, I think he might. It's you know, he's got a pretty powerful composition against what he's up against right now. The only thing he's really got to watch out for is counterattacks. You know, so far, like, Symbol is staying back. It looks like he's not quite ready for an engagement. And that's good, because with him taking the Watchtower, again, the one thing that he should fear is a counterattack.
Yeah.
And it looks like, well, Symbol may go for that counterattack. Maybe he's just setting up for a flank.
I think it's going to be a flank. He has 3 groups of units, and here they come. Let's see if the force fields are good. So far, he's stuck against a wall here. Not a lot of room to move.
Ooh, a lot of surface area being gotten by those Zerglings on the Stalkers. Tons of damage being done. Now, of course, these Immortals are dealing out a lot of damage as well, so that's nice. But I would say that this surround by Symbol was easily good enough.
And there's Burrow movement finishing.
Oh,
he's going to go underneath and just get right up on those Immortals. Way too much damage here. Can't believe Billowy's even warping in Stalkers there. I think that's lights out. I think that's game 50 links to Remax, and
you're not winning from here.
GG. Well,
Okay.
that was a fun little game there.
It was a little bit different. Maybe too quick of a move out by Billowy. He was going for like a really nice composition, but to get flanked that heavily by Symbol, you know, that just had so many units. The one thing you got to remember, even though you're making like an anti-Roach type of army like he was, you have to be careful. First off, giant surface area is still going to favor the Zerg.
Exactly.
Especially when he's getting close to the max, because a Zerg making Roaches is going to max way before a Protoss. If he actually pulls back a little bit, builds the army up a bit more, he can take on that army.
Well, he also got stuck against that wall. So if you get surrounded by the flanks, and you can't fan your units out, you're just kind of, half your units are bumping into each other anyways trying to fight, whereas Symbol's just going to hit you wave for wave.
Yeah. Normally when a flank like that happens, and you're going for an army like this, you will force field off one side completely.